Actually groundbreaking tonight in the fight to contain COVID-19. The FDA has approved a rapid test that can provide results in 15 minutes at the cost of $5. According to Abbott Labs, the test is the size of a credit card. It sends results directly to your cell phone after you get it, and it requires no other equipment, no big lab equipment that they put it all into to operate. Joining me now is Dr. Gigi Gronball, a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security and an associate professor at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. She's a testing expert. Dr. Gronball, thank you very much for being here tonight. What's your take on this new test?
Well, any sort of advance in testing is so important because this is how we are going to fight this pandemic, to know where the disease is. So it's really important. And so it's exciting that there's a new advance and a cheaper test that can give rapid results and at the volume that we need. So it's going to almost at least double the manufacturing volume that we in the next couple of months.
Yeah, and one of the biggest problems, and I think, a lot of families experienced it, I know mine did, that it takes 10 days sometimes to get your test back. And by the time the test comes back, you've already, had contact with lots of people, and it really isn't that helpful at that turnaround. And I saw that the administration is going to deploy 150 million of these tests under a contract with Abbott Labs. But it's not the kind of thing that you can do yourself. I think that's one of the things. This has to be administered by a doctor, right?
Right. Well, it could be a nurse practitioner, it could be a school nurse, it could be a wider group of people. But yes, unfortunately, it's not a home test. It's not the test that we're looking for. And hopefully this will help presage that kind of advance. But there are a few cons to this test. It's still a nasal swab test. It'd be great to have a saliva test. And it would be great to have it, even though $5 is not exorbitant, it would be great to have a much cheaper test.
I think the short nasal swab is the best one, in my opinion, having been tested for some of these events. That one is easy. It's not the big one that goes up here. I've heard this a lot.
It's the brain swab.
As well.
Yeah.
The brain swab is no fun. I want to ask you about the CDC test sort of squabble this week. They came out and essentially said that if you don't have symptoms, you really don't need to be tested. Then they came back and sort of corrected that after they got a lot of pushback on that. There was a suggestion that it was because they don't want to see more positive tests in this political season. Now they're saying you may be tested if you don't have symptoms, and there's a good reason for it. What do you think about all that?
Well, it didn't make sense because more than 40% of cases are asymptomatic. So to be able to stop spread, you're going to need to test people who are asymptomatic. Unfortunately, this particular test, the EUA recommends the emergency use authorization given by the FDA recommends that you only use it for symptomatic people. Yeah. So we're still in this situation where we do need a more broadly available, cheap test that could be used for asymptomatic and symptomatic people.
Amen to that. Everybody wants to know if they're okay to go here or there and to protect the people they love. Dr. Gronball, thank you. Great to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
So coming up next, Senator Tom Cotton.